Monday no news recap. Today was the most free draw in liquidity I've ever seen. Looking at the 1 hour, we were already down from this low, but we edged this low right here. We got a retrace, and we were looking to dump to here, and then possibly to here, which we ended up doing. ES was more bullish, so we want to take on Nasdaq. Simple as that, right? So on the 5 minute, shit. Yeah, so ES was a lot further in this gap. I expected this high to be pretty protected because honestly, it was a pretty perfect short. Um, Free market, obviously. Or no, up here it was like you can see this flip off of the 15-minute gap. Absolutely fucking perfect. Um, but that was what 7:15 a.m. Going into the morning, right? We came down here, but expected, 9:30 maybe you manipulate. That's what it ended up doing and manipulated up. Um, Reason why I didn't take this, like, if you sweep out these highs, no displacement above it, if these gaps are inverted, then we're going lower, right? Yes, that is true. But the thing is, NQ is a more bearish pair. ES isn't. As soon as we swept that high, ES immediately displaced, took out these lows right here, and NQ was just chopping around right here. It wasn't moving. And so it was kind of, I don't want to take it on ES, and it was already too late to take it on NQ because this low is already taken. And it ended up just inverting this all the way down here, immediately going down to the draw, and then, after that it's cooks. Um, but I still had this draw lower, so I just wanted to see some confirmation. Um, there was this flip right here that you could have taken. I personally wasn't a fan of it just because we swept that low once, we swept that low twice, and there's no displacement below that low. Do I think we're bearish? Yes, but I need more confluence. This is the confluence I needed, and it was pretty perfect, I'm not gonna lie. But problem is that we didn't get a retrace. Zero retrace. We did tap into a 5 minute gap right here, barely tapped and got a little bit of a flip. Um, but by the time this candle printed, we already swept out that low, so it was too late. ES also swept out this low that NQ swept out before with this move. So looking on the 4 hour, we swept out all the lows here. We're inside this big ass gap. What do I expect? I expect some sort of rebalance, uh, to probably this internal high. What I was looking at was standard deviation, right? We hit the 2.5 range and we got a reaction. Like if we see a certain gap inverse, I'm expecting a reaction to equilibrium of the range, right? So this is where I was aiming at right there. So dropping down, right? We hit that low and we start chopping around a little bit. ES sweeps out this low. We put it in SMT. There's a higher time from SMT because ES didn't take this low yet. That's all the way down here. Oh, I didn't leave it marked. It's all the way down here. So basically, what do we have? We swept out the draw. We're inside a high time frame gap. We have a big time frame SMT. We have a lower time frame SMT, and then we inverse this gap. Um, I entered a couple seconds before this closed, so my fill was a little bit higher. Stops at this low, and I was targeting equilibrium, but all I needed was like this profit. Um, but yeah, so what I ended up doing, I entered right here. Is the stop loss a little big? Now looking back at it, yes, I probably could have choked it to like here. But also, what I've noticed in my trading is like I'm having good stop losses, but it's just it gets very close sometimes. So I'm just giving it more breathing room. And um yeah, that's what I'm focusing on. We hit this high, right? And that's where you go break even. Um I don't think it's a bad break even spot, but it is a little bit high. We could come to this bounce and then reject off of that, but we ended up just coming up into here. Probably it's probably a 15-minute gap. Yeah. It was a 15-minute gap, and then we just sold off. So got break even there, and that's all I'm really going to take because now I'm expecting just chop or maybe ES might go down to there, but not something I want to take just because of the higher time frame S&T. But overall, I like everything I had was just very confident. I knew exactly where we were going, just really no entries and got break even. So that's it for the day.